Hello everyone, welcome back to more AEW on TEW 2020. We are here with the third Dynamite of the year out here in Arizona. We start off with our international title match between Orange Cassidy and Ricky Starks, which ends in a time limit draw. Not something we often see out here. Pretty much immediately after the time limit runs out, Big Bill gets in the ring, and he plants Orange Cassidy with a big boot. Chuck and Trent get into the ring for themselves and fight against the tag champions before the lights go out. When they come back on, everyone is laid out on the ground, and the House of Black, in its entirety, is in the ring. Malachi, he has a mic, and he's staring over everyone right now. It was kind of like looking on before he slowly takes his seat. It is a very cool pose. He does it. It's very simple, but Malachi does it very well. Sits down and begins to talk, and he says, "I suppose it's somewhat on me for not being a bit more clear with the way things have gone. See, it's not only FTR and those tag titles. It's not only FTR that I want to see around my buddy's waist. It's not only the tag titles that I want to see around Buddy and Brody's waists. That international title that you care about so much, that all of you out there adore so much, that Orange Cassidy rules so well. They should adorn the waist of someone truly deserving, someone who tries, someone who goes out there every day, gives his life, gives his all for this business 100% of the time, every single day. Someone like myself. So, I'm glad for all these challenges that you're promoting, all these times that you're going out there, you're putting yourselves on the line. So it allows me, it allows for the House of Black to strike." The lights go out, and they disappear. We head to the next segment. While they're all still in the ring, of course, presume they get up between everything. Vignette plays of a very bougie office, and it pans up to show Richard Holiday. He's wearing a suit. Tankman and Hammerstone, they're both wearing suits. This is a segment that had a run on Rampage, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to show Rampage results probably at the Rampage results for the month before, probably just like before the first Dynamite of each month. So, this is a segment that showed up then. But Holiday says, "It's a pleasure to meet everyone out there in the land of prime time television. My name is Richard Holiday, and I'm the owner of Dynasty Marketing Incorporated. And I'd like to take this time to introduce myself and my close associates. On my left is the big Talvin Tankman, the heavyweight hustle himself, and on my right, the best-looking bod in pro wrestling, Alex Hammerstone. We're here in AEW for a number of reasons. Of course, first of all, we recognize that there's money to be made out here in All Elite. And, second is my old friend, MJF. See, we have a history back in Major League Wrestling, but then MJF went off to do bigger and better things, he said. And now I get that it's hurt. And I really do hope for the best for him. I want him to recover as well as he can, because I want to be the next one to beat him down. So, consider this a sign of things to come in the future. And consider this time for Dynasty Marketing to get ready to rule the roost." So yeah, just a quick thing introducing some people who I could build up pretty well. Depends on how I do in the future, really. After this, Jay White defeats Dalton Castle. Just real quick match. Yeah. Well, rather than the Bullet Club music hitting afterwards, Adam Page's music hits, and the Cowboy walks down to him and says, "That was a ballsy attack, Jay. Attacking a man from behind with 4 separate goons. It's a cowardly way out. I get that you're jealous of everyone that's been in the Bullet Club. Someone who is never the leader and is still always going to be more important than you ever will be. But don't worry about your buddies. They've all been taken care of." He looks up to the Tron and got the big screen, and it shows that the 4 members of the Bullet Club Gold that aren't Juice Robinson, because I kind of forgot about him because he's injured, are all hog-tied up. And Jay White, he smiles, and he's got the mic at this point, and says, and honestly, I'm impressed by you, Wangman. You really went out of your way, huh? See, I'm not stupid. I think I've laid everything out there, and it's always something good for the Bullet Club to have one in the chamber. And Paige is like, what the hell does this mean? He's attacked from behind by Diamante. And, of course, she kind of beats him down a little bit more before Jay White comes out. It's not too much, like, it's not trying to, like, bury Hangman by, oh no, he's being beaten up by a woman. But, yeah, Diamante has joined the Bullet Club. I've only been to one wrestling show ever, in person, and the main event of that, I think I've mentioned this before, it was Diamante, Kiera Hogan, and Tessa Blanchard. And Diamante was super cool. So, trying to give her a little bit of a push. I think that'd be neat. And she kind of fits the Bullet Club, I think. Out of this, Don Callis is being interviewed by Renee Paquette, who asks him about the words that Miro said. He says, Miro? I'm not worried about him. I mean, someone who's as devoted to faith as him is gotta be more than unhappy with AEW right now. I mean, you got devils running around, and that's not even including me. I'm displaying all these absolute masterpieces of art up on my Tron every time I come down. It's great, but, you know, I'm not someone who's dumb enough to not realize how big of a threat Miro is. So, I'm gonna make sure that you're dealt with correctly. I'm not gonna take you lightly. And Don, he's going to say more. He's going to, you know, keep speaking up a little bit more. Powerhouse Hobbs actually takes the mic, and he says, Miro, I get that you're someone who adheres well to your own holy book. But me? I'm someone that knows that there's only one book that matters. The Book of Hobbs says that everyone who gets in my path will be destroyed. It doesn't matter how big they are. It doesn't matter how much of a monster they are. It doesn't matter anything about you. The Book of Hobbs says that you will go down. So you know, I will be the one to take you down, Miro. I can accept Don Callis sending Takeshita, sending Fletcher, sending Gresham, but this is my hunt. Hobbs walks off. Callis is kind of confused, but he's like, you know, I like the fire. I like the fire the Powerhouse Hobbs has. I have to go into Access and change Hobbs to a heel, because why is he not a heel? Whatever. It's fine. At this, Deonna Purrazzo debuts and defeats Riho in a pretty quick match. Yeah, nothing too special. And after the ring, she's ready to get an interview from Tony Schiavone when Tessa Blanchard has again jumped the railing and is beating down Deonna. Security rushes in, and she's yelling out that this isn't the last of what her boss wants. And it's not the last time you'll see her, and Taz and Excalibur are very confused as to what Tessa means by this. Of course, you see the Mastermind storyline advancing. We'll see more about who that is later on. After this, Nemeth is being interviewed by Renee Paquette, who asks about these statements towards the Bullet Club Gold. Of course, they invited him to meet up previously, and right now, since they're indisposed, Nick will simply address his thoughts now. Says, Jay, it's an honor that you think I'm suitable for the Bullet Club. I mean, the Bullet Club is one of the best factions of all time, and people have been dreaming about me being in the Bullet Club for what seems like multiple lifetimes. But there's something I have to say. See, I'm not exactly particularly interested in joining a group that promotes the type of violence that you do out in the Bullet Club. I've come to a realization in the past few months that there's a reason that I've been taking off the air. The reason that pro wrestling has gone down, and it's because of all this violence being promoted, all this degeneracy being promoted. So, I found a group of like-minded people, and to that end, since we want to make things a little more formal, a little more official, a little more family-friendly for the airwaves, a little more widespread for the casual fan out there, I want you to request to call me by my legal name, Nicholas T. Emmett. See, I'm here to ensure that AEW is up to code, or else I'll take the show off the air. So that's probably could have guessed that's why he's Nicholas T. Nemeth. I enjoy the FCC gimmick, but it's right to censor, but I think it's a fun gimmick. So yeah. After this, Swerve defeats Kota Ibushi. Swerve Stomp. It's actually a pretty good show match-wise. Young Bucks hit the ring after the match, and they tried to super kick party to Swerve, but Brian Cage, he gets into the ring very quickly. He pulls Swerve out of the way and eats the kicks in return. And Swerve, he's rolled out of the ring by this point quickly. He's yelling off mic, him and Nana. They're yelling, hey, you gotta... I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of you. Not scared of Kota. So we can take this all on together. We can go 3-on-3, and presumably the Bucks are agreeing. So yeah, just setting up a nice trios match. Again, I don't like there being trios titles, but I don't mind there being trios matches every so often. I just don't want it to be a full division. Out of this video, vignette plays of Action Andretti sitting in an office. He notes that Professor Deeb said that he was to go into the superintendent's office, and the chair, the big important desk, turns around to show Keith Lee. He's dressed up in like a very nice red sweater. I don't know, he just has this vibe of, like, it's like the red knit sweater kind of has like the white quote-unquote undershirt with it. It's an exact sweater I'm imagining, but I don't know how to describe it. As indeed, I have asked for your presence here. Mr. Andretti, I've been thoroughly impressed by your showing here at All Elite Wrestling. However, I believe you have much more potential. You and Miss Starks both, I think, are people who could be at the peak of pro wrestling. And thus it is why I had to personally request for the two of you to join us here, the Institute of Limitless Knowledge. Professor Deeb has been very impressed by your sparring sessions in the past, and I would be delighted to see you in action for myself. So I shall accompany you for your exhibition match on Rampage. I look forward to your patronage at our school, Mr. Andretti. I love Keith Lee, the fact that he talks the way he does. I don't know. It gives me the vibe of someone sitting at a warm fire, reading a book with a cup of tea, again, in this red sweater. I will find the red sweater eventually. After this, Mustafa Ali is seen in another vignette, sitting in the empty United Center. As I've said before, on this very arena, how Chicago as a whole has been the home to so much heartbreak, so many good times. It's always been my goal to see this place in a new light. Somewhere that doesn't have the disappointment of hindsight. And I know that AEW frequents this place often. So, if I want to fully gather myself in the world of the elite, I think one of the best ways would be to come here, to one of the common haunts of AEW. Right here in my home, too, but there's a word in there that I want to focus on. Elite. For so long, the people in charge have called themselves these best of the best. They've called themselves the elite out here, and it's always rubbed me the wrong way. I've always seen it as hyping yourself up too much, without acknowledging people like me. Camera pans over and shows that Killer Kelly is sat beside him. Or like her. Both of us are people who have been misused, mistreated by the world, and both of us know how good we are. Both of us know that we can bet on ourselves and be better than anything else. And we want to show the world just how strong that we can be. So, let it be known. AEW. Will the Disillusion finally fight back? It'll be a revolution like you have never seen. Alright, sorry about that little pause. But yeah, Killer Kelly has joined the Disillusioned world. I'm fine with that. I'm fine. And then, in our main event, Samoa Joe defeats Jon Moxley in defense of the world title. Yeah, just penalized for Joe, sadly being old. 72 rated show. I'm happy with this. This was a very good match show. But I feel like my segments, I'm happy with my segments overall. I'm getting pretty good at, I feel like I'm getting better at booking just in general. And I really want to start building up more stars, building up more people. And that's where we get people like Powerhouse Hobbs challenging Miro himself. Where we get people like the Dynasty Marketing group getting introduced. We have people like Killer Kelly. We have people like Andretti joining the ILK. I'm happy with my shows so far, but still, we got a long way to go before anything really gets done, I think. So yeah, next time we'll head on to Collision.